All right. Hi, everybody. Mr. God to you here again. Just gonna go through my Deadpool daily. On my last video, my first video I did, it was very much you'd have to be a high level. I've been playing this game for, let's see, where do I at? Yeah, like 1,500 days now. So some of these things that I'm gonna post are really only for players that have been playing long enough to get the big roster. Deadpool's daily. If you're not playing this already, if you're a newer player and you're not doing everything you can in this, this is like a benchmark thing. You do every single mission in this every single day, and you do as much as you can every day, and goes a long way to building your roster. I've already done the first one. So I did it this morning when I was just trying to get my reward. I'd been out in a different alliance for event end just to get the domino cover, but now I'm back in mine. So and that's just the 1-star note. I almost always just beat this with Juggernaut. You really only need one star once you get up beyond that. Anyway, so but I'm going to go through all these and keep you with me here. So this is just show you how I do this every day. Under this second one, really the only 2-star roster you ever need is this one. This team, this 3-person team goes through anything better than. I don't think there's a better 2-star team in the game, so I'm just going to go through this quick. You don't need to waste any boosts or anything on this one. So the whole point of this combo, and if this is a point in the game where you are just starting to play 2-stars and you have your characters, if you get this combo, this combo works almost anywhere. The key to it is building up purple for classic Magneto. That's kind of your start point. So none of these things are going to be important because these guys are all going to be dead soon. So that lets you change 3 things to blue. A really important thing to know in this game is what makes a 5 match. So crosses, X's, like what kind of patterns you can use to make a 5 match, because it's the most powerful thing in the game. So that kicks that all off, all these 5 matches, jumps up my AP quite a bit, and also sets up the Hawkeye passive that goes off whenever you make a 5 match. And that's pretty key to this all working out. A little annoying that it's Quicksilver, just because he can sometimes punish you a little bit for using blue, but it's not that big a deal. Especially because I'm just, right now, this Storm's power right now is just going to wipe their side. And that's what you always want to kind of work your way towards. I don't use, I always turn off the character animations when I play. They waste time. Unless you've seen them once or twice, you've seen them a million times. So actually, every now and then I'll turn them on for when a new character comes out, just because I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what their powers look like, because some of them they do put a lot of work into. And there's a couple that actually, especially like in kind of the 5 stars, where the character tells a story in and of itself. One of the things that you'll learn as you're playing the game, when you start to get into the 5 stars, is there are, like a lot of them are designed, a lot of 4 and 3-star characters are kind of designed to have a synergy as a team, and your 5-star characters, some of them can just win on their own. I mean, like you literally take your match into your own hands anytime you're fighting against Jessica Jones or Thor or Okoye, because or Okoye or whatever, they can just beat you. Like things just go wrong in the match and you just lose. Gambit was like that before they changed him considerably. Like he could just get on a roll, and like there's no guarantee that you will win. And I've seen them wipe out, fully champed 5-star teams without really trying much. So yeah, so that's that kind of pattern, right? Anyway, sorry, got lost there, but the big thing with that one is that you want to be gathering blue, making 5 matches, working up to the windstorm for storm, and then letting the speed shot go off. And that's, you'll see it again. It's I just updated, look at that later. So here we'll do it again, because there's no reason to change the team up. That's kind of why it's not a big deal. I figured you'd see it twice through this whole thing. This time, same kind of thing. You're just looking to roll up purple. You're going to target. It's actually kind of a tough, not the another interesting setup because normally you'd want to take out the storm there first, rather than worrying too much about Deadpool. But if you kind of jump on her very hard, he's going to keep doing his trick where he gets in front and stops the damage, and then you're not really getting anything done. So in order of operations is almost always, if there's a Deadpool on the board, you take the Deadpool out first. Now that's going to be a bit annoying too because she's going to tick that off, but she's not going to generate enough purple to be that much of a threat. The big worry there is that Scarlet Witch will get hers up to the point where she stuns out one of your combo pieces. But we're close to just getting Storm Blue normally, and this will be how we all need to go. So, 1, 2, 3, that kind of T shape is really you can almost always find a 5 match that way. Some of the other less common ways to do it, you can do 3 and 3 side by side, or you can even have like 3 down and then one starting halfway down the other way. The reason I went with Scarlet Witch in that is I wanted to have one of them stunned, and I figured that her Windstorm would do enough damage to down the other 2 long enough for these guys to come in, which it did. So then it was just ticking off the time. The other thing too is there's about 30,000 ISO available throughout the Deadpool daily every day, and then whenever there's a Crash of the Titans on top of that, there's you get the legendary token for beating that one. And I don't think I've lost. There hasn't been one that I haven't gotten in. I don't know. I can't remember. Probably since they started doing them. I think there might have been one time they had like a brand new 4-star that I just didn't have covers for. But yeah, sorry, with this 3-star fight, the 3-star required, I always use Scarlet Witch and Deadpool. Scarlet Witch, because she makes purple, and I always try and get one. You always want to have one match with Deadpool in it a day, because that adds up his whales counter, which I'll show you in a sec as soon as I get them. I have at times had that kind of up over or almost at 1 million, which is the limit. You can only ever have like 1 million Deadpool points to power his whale bomb or whatever you want to call it. I used a whole bunch of mine up. I think actually it was the last time there was a new character PvP. I ended up using a whole ton of them just to blitz through to the 40 wins to get that cover. I don't play PvP as much as the story mode. I do play it, and I used to play it in an alliance that was all PvP. I find it really stressful personally. I don't enjoy. Oh, it's a bit better now that they do the stacked wins. So you just want to always rack that up. You just need a regular whales to win that one. But if you do that every day, then there's no chance you're going to miss out on your Deadpool points, which slowly stack up. And you're going to want it. Every now and then you really need to have that that win at the last second. Or I sometimes, if I don't have the required 5-star champ, and it's like with the one coming up, we have the simulator coming up, and it's the 5-star nodes are going to have 3 characters, and they can actually be pretty nasty. This is the team I use for this one every time, the one that gives you the cover. It's really just playing easy mode. As soon as you kill somebody, which you basically do the first match, you make most of the other teams dead. And then it's just a couple matches to kind of clean up the chunk. And because it's going to court death, and mine courts death for like 16,000 or something. Because I have Thanos 5-star champs. And really, I'm just trying to save myself time. I don't want I like to do this, but I don't want to waste any time on it. And that should be the last of that. He'll snuff him out like a candle. And there we go. Now I just have the last, the behemoth burrito. Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is another reason, you need to have every 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star because you always want to do this. The extra 2 CP adds up. Mine's almost gone, but I had, just before last night, I had over 250 CP saved up. And I actually used it all to finish off the covers I needed for my 5-star Thor, and he is now he's champed, and that's he's one of the key characters to have in the game. When you're up at the 5-star level, I don't think there's even to now, like maybe Jessica Jones and Okoye are close, or Okoye, I don't know how to say. I should probably figure out how to say her name right because it just drives me nuts that I am making it up. But yeah, the 5-star Thor, and I'll do another video in a little bit that just shows kind of how I use 5-star Thor. And it is kind of dependent on who you have as well on your team. I don't have, like, my Okoye is not very good and not fully covered at very least. So I don't use her to as good of effect as obviously a lot of people do in PvP. But I use Banner with my 5-star Thor, and it's really quite effective. So I'll do a video after showing that. I think it's one of the better teams in the game, and it leads to some really fast clears. I know if anyone's watched my other one, I showed you how my 5-star Doc Ock could do some really fast clears while he was boosted. It's not the combo I showed as well in that one with using using Doc Ock with Carol. Isn't mine. I've seen somebody else do it before. I saw it on another thing. I thought that's really brilliant, and especially when he's champed. It's pretty backbreaking. I guess I probably should be using Iron Man. I'm not even paying attention here. So, because, I mean, none of these guys can really hurt anybody I've got in the playing field, so. And then, let's fire that up, and collect our CP. And yeah, once that goes off one way or the other, we'll have Hulk down and out, and that's that done. So yeah, I just figured, not everybody, it's not something you get to see all the time. I've seen some people on here showing how they go through it, but it's a little different too when you've got somebody with a pretty high level roster like I do. And I mean, I'm not bragging too much. There's certainly players with way better, bigger, whatever rosters than me that have been playing longer. But I really like to help people and show this out, and it's kind of one of my main jobs in command of my alliance. I'm one of the commanders of the Phoenix Ember Alliance. It's a really good place to be. And we do a lot of education, and I've always part of what I like about this game is the helping people and teaching them how to play better, because I figure if I've had to blunder my way through it, there's no need for everybody else to. So yeah, that's most of my Deadpool daily done, and I'll post this up, and then you guys please remember to like and subscribe if you like, and we'll take it from there. Thanks, have a great day.